Ho, ho, and ho. 'Tis the season to be merry, so that is what I've gone with for the theme for this video this week. I didn't want to bore you with more Ray Harryhausen chat, even though we're going with Jason and the Argonauts as my choice this week after finding out that Tyler hadn't seen it. So that will be fun. And Tyler has gone for the second Resident Evil movie, although I do like to wind Tyler up and we hurt one another sometimes with choices. I have to admit that I'm almost as much a fan of the Resident Evil series as he is. I believe that he and I and Dave, I'm not sure how Craig feels about we're big fans of the gaming series mostly. So, you know, spoiler alert, I don't really think the second film is that good compared to pretty much every other film in the series, but at least it's a fun one just to watch and revisit. Anyway, we're on to the Christmas season. I don't know if you can enjoy the full greatness of my Gremlins seasonal sweater. The top, as you can see, has Gizmo on the helmet and the cocoons. You've got all different things here, and then going up, microwaved gremlin, robber gremlin, 3D glasses gremlin, Gizmo in the car. Now I have another reason to hate Christmas, and Barney. Was it Barney? In the Christmas lights. Gremlins is a favourite Christmas movie of mine. I'm a big fan of Gremlins, so I recommend that to people. Elf is a modern Christmas classic, I would say. I think even people who don't really like Will Ferrell really enjoy Elf. I'm not going to have a debate about whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie, because it is, and it's one of my favourite movies, but I do agree with the memes that have gone around saying, people who just come along saying Die Hard is my favourite Christmas movie, get it because it's not a traditional Christmas movie, has a grain of truth to it. I don't need to wait until Christmas to watch it. I can watch it at Christmas. I like it a lot. It has enough elements that, for me, easily make it a Christmas movie. 12 Terrace, There's a Miracle, his wife is called Holly, Christmas songs on the soundtrack, the Christmas party is pivotal to the plot, including some wrapping tape, a couple of other things, but I'm not, going to recommend that as one of your ones that you should check out this month, unless you just want an excuse to watch Die Hard and pretty much any other action movie that's written by Shane Black. All of those would count. So really the main ones are Gremlins, Elf. You can kind of love and hate it in equal measure, but Love Actually has a lot of the good Christmassy stuff in there. I try to resist its charm, and then I watch Hugh Grant shaking his booty, and that makes me laugh a lot. So Love Actually would be a good choice for many. Holiday Inn, which is the film that I believe first featured White Christmas, and you have White Christmas, so they're good. And then you can go with, hopefully horror fans picked up that double pack. The first film is genuinely fantastic. The second film is very odd. I heard the two different stars being interviewed on another podcast that I will not mention, and they were both very enjoyable interviewees. And the star of the second film, I forget his name, did explain that he was asked to make some choices that he made. Wasn't sure what the makers of the film would use and what they were going for, and obviously they use things that he just views it as a comedy riff on what had gone previously. So he has to stick with that, and he's pleased enough by it now, and fans have been very warm in the response to him. I think he maybe maintains a low profile and hasn't been dragged into the convention circuit yet, or any of the main things that fans would congregate around, but maybe he's been out and more viewable in the last few years. This was an old interview, but still, it's a fun double pack. It's a good time. Horror fans can also obviously check out Krampus. That's a really good one. I would advise people to avoid 90% of the films that have been pushed out with the word Krampus in the title. They're often really bad. A lot of them are made by production companies that think they can just make 2 or 3 movies under the same umbrella budget, put Krampus in the title, and they've got stuff that will fill supermarket shelves at this time of year. So be warned and be careful. Santa's Sleigh? Is that the one with Goldberg in it? The first 10 minutes of that are hilarious. The rest of it doesn't quite live up to that, but it's a lot of fun. So you're really well covered with all of your Christmas horror needs. A few different anthology movies are about, and I just watched the Advent Calendar on Shudder, and I really liked that. It took a little while for me to piece together how things were going, but I liked the way it was structured, and that you were kind of playing catch up along with the central character, and it was just really well put together. Ending is good. I actually recommend that one if you want something a bit different that's newer. But going back to the more traditional stuff, either version on Miracle on 34th Street is a very good watch, I think. I'm not sure if I have a preference there. Possibly still the original, but both are excellent. Scrooged with Bill Murray is a fun one. A Christmas Carol, the classic with Alistair Sim, is still one of my favourites. I really didn't like the Bob Zemeckis motion capture Christmas Carol thing. It's an amazing story. I think they messed it up. The musical version with Albert Finney in the role of Scrooge, I think it is just called Scrooge, that is a fun one at this time of year. The Nightmare Before Christmas is great. Arthur Christmas is great. I'm looking forward to watching Robin on Netflix. I'm going to check that out soon. So you've got a fair selection to pick from, and that's not including the many that are on Hallmark, that are on I don't know, is it ABC? You get Christmas 24, you get all these channels now that have all the TV movies on them, and I've long been a vocal supporter of these things. And they have a template, they work, they, a lot of the time they're there for while you wrap presents, while you cook, while you have too much hot chocolate and mince pies. Some of them work a lot better than others, depending on the stars and what they're doing within that format. And then a couple of sort of recent additions with the opening the gates, if you will, with the LGBTQ plus community. Happiest Season was a really good one from last year. And this year on Netflix, there's Single All the Way, which I just watched, which is really enjoyable. Last Christmas was one that I really liked, even though it's pretty obvious to where it's going. I think it's really sweet. I enjoyed discussing that a little bit with Emily last year of the Feminine Critique, and she does her stocking stuffers. I was looking forward to joining Emily again this year, but things have come up, so the schedule didn't work out, and I think she has to put a lot on hold at the moment. So if she ever sees this, take care, Emily, and hope you're going to do well in the next little while and get back on schedule soon. Last but not least, again for the horror fans, there's something about Christmas that goes so well with horror, and I guess it's the potential for snow and blood on the snow is a great visual. There are so many Christmas accessories that work well, from Black Christmas, the original, to Black Christmas, the first remake that I hated, and then kind of like the dark humor of it, to Black Christmas, the most recent version, which I just think didn't really work, was a bit of a mess. But yeah, horror and Christmas seem to go hand in hand, like, you know, a turkey breast and cranberry sauce or something. So with that in mind, I also really recommend Yuletide Terror, Christmas Horrors on Film and Television. Most people will know name Kayla Janice. I'm not sure of any other books that I may have edited by Paul Krupp. I may have some stuff, because Spectacular Optical was a publishing company that had this, and they had an offer where I bought a few things together. It's a really nice book. Lots of black and white photos in there, lots of content covered, interviews and overviews of a wide variety of films, including, by the way, P2, which stars the superb Rachel Nichols. And Wes Bentley's in there as well, but I've always been a bigger fan of Rachel Nichols. So this is just a little rundown of loads of movies that came off the top of my head. Let's just let's be sure to remember one of the best. The moral being, you know, always be very, very careful when you decide to get your child a pet as a late Christmas gift. But it's also a reminder that if you like the Hallmark movies and the cheesy TV movies, don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't, because I mean, I've watched hundreds, and I do so every year, and I enjoy it. I enjoy looking for the things that we expect to see in all of them. You know, the meat cutes, the hot chocolate, the freshly baked cookies, the snowfall as a backdrop for newly discovered love. It's all part of the formula, and they've tweaked it and perfected it over the years, and now with that expanding a little bit, and different people getting on board and having a go within that formula, there's plenty to enjoy. I can't remember the name of it, there's one this year with Bruce Campbell in one of the main roles, so I'll also be looking forward to that one. I'll see it at some point. If you have any recommendations, please name them below, even if they are Hallmark Christmas movies, and if I've not seen them, I will endeavour to do so. I might try and figure out how to put my letterbox list that I have. I think it's about 360 films on there at the moment, and it grows a little bit every year with more that I watch and review. So I'll try and put that in the description somewhere. Enjoy the month ahead. Don't let the stress get to you too much. Don't let the pressure get to you. Again, everyone's been through a difficult year or two, and we're all got to keep feeling the pinch more and more, depending on what restrictions are in place and how businesses are affected. So if you have to, you know, make someone a nice homemade gift, give someone an IOU. Doesn't really matter, especially at this point in time, considering what everyone has gone through, and we've all gone through different levels of crap. So yeah, it is the thought that counts, and that's not always easy to remember when we're on social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and you'll see the photos of the big trees and the piles of presents. You'll still see those. People can do whatever they like, but don't let that make you feel any lesser in yourself for whatever you are managing to do for yourself or for loved ones, or however you want to celebrate the holiday season. Yeah, and there's still no war on Christmas, And I like Christmas, but if anyone watches who doesn't celebrate Christmas and just says happy holidays to me, I'm fine to say happy holidays back. So get that idea out of your head that there's a war on Christmas, because that's ridiculous. Also, if you do have any difficulties at this time of year, there may be, you know, a couple more Christmas videos coming this month. You know, just always feel free to message us here on social media, if you know us individually or as a podcast, and say hi, and we can just help distract for 5-10 minutes or half an hour or so, and hopefully brighten up your day a little bit. Then that is something I'm always happy to do, because it's a wonderful time of year. It can also be the worst time of year. So there's that balance. And now that I've ended on a downer, enjoy the rest of your December.